Welcome to another episode of the Financial Armor Show. My name is Jose Rodriguez, investment advisor here at Cooper Financial, and your host for today, alongside my co-host, Jaclyn Gladhill. How you doing, Jaclyn?
I'm good. How about you, Jose? Any news with your lawn, with your grass?
Nothing yet because everything's kind of been on hold for this week and the next week as well. Because there's a lot of storms right now.
Like rain?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
In a
So
desert?
yep. So everything's kind of been on hold, as in I can't wash my car because why?
Yep.
And and I can't really clean my backyard because if I clean it up today, a dust storm or a
Hmm.
rain storm is gonna come in and just mess it all up anyway.
So, how are you feeling about the water bill? Is it getting better?
Heck no, no, that ain't happened. That ain't getting fixed for a long time. That ain't getting fixed until I get a turf or something. But that would be that'll never happen probably.
Yeah, you can't tell me that you've spent all of this time, all of this money watching this grass grow, and you're
Hmm.
considering possibly just doing turf?
Yep. That's what I'm saying. That's not happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Well, you better get used to that water bill then.
Yeah. It's just more of an ego thing, you know. You
Yep.
have to deal with it. But no, it's a very good week. I have my in-laws in today. They came to visit and to stay here with
Fun.
the house with me. So we're spending some time, and then we're gonna escape the weather and go to Sedona this weekend. And
Fun.
rented a little cabin over there and go spend a weekend there.
So how far is that drive?
It's about 2 hours
Okay.
roughly. Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
have thought it was closer for some reason, but
um, there's other places that are closer. For example, Payson
yep.
is like 45 minutes
Okay.
ish from here, and that's it. Honestly, that's about 10 to 20 degrees lower over there. When it's 100 degrees here, it's about
Mhm.
80 to 70 degrees over there.
Okay, that could be nice though. I mean, for
Yeah,
you guys especially. Yeah,
yeah.
that could be kind of nice.
So that is the plan, and that's why we're going over there, and you're gonna see the nice scenery and play some board
Very
games with the
fun.
family and make some good food. Watched the World Cup yesterday, which was really cool. Spain won. If a spoiler alert, Spain won, uh, and it was a hectic game. A lot of violence for some
Mhm.
reason. A lot of people were fighting, and it was only let it very little scoring too. Only one goal in the whole game.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth though.
So I don't want to jinx this, but I'm almost positive. Didn't you say that those teams were going to be the final two?
I don't remember. I think I did, but I think it was just because uh we already knew. Well, no, because
No.
semifinals happened last week before we recorded.
We
When
didn't record last week. We skipped last week.
then we
So
interesting.
I'm almost positive. Wasn't it Spain and Argentina?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm almost positive that's what you told me.
Well,
So listeners and viewers
in
who
four
listen to our
years, I'm gonna do
podcast,
the same thing.
yes,
Put
who
money on
listen
it.
to this, tell us who Jose said originally, because I'm almost positive you said Spain and Argentina, which would be really cool.
Yeah, and then next World Cup, I'll try to make uh, guess who the finalists are gonna be, and then we're gonna put money on it, all of it,
Okay.
all in on
Okay.
it.
Okay. You know, I okay. I'll go in with you, but maybe a little bit, just a
All
little bit. Like
right,
I don't
hundred
know.
bucks, only $100.
Yeah, yeah, that's max. That's max. I was thinking more like 50, but okay.
Oh,
Well, yesterday I went to a trampoline park, Jose.
mm, we're too
And
old for that. Even
right?
how young we are, I think we're too old for that. My knees already start shaking just from hearing trampoline park.
Do you know how bad my neck hurts? My
Oh yeah.
neck is aching so bad, but I will say we were embarrassed, but it was a ball. Like
Mm,
we were the oldest and of course, embarrassed cuz we had four adults of us.
mhm.
And pretty embarrassing, but it was so much fun. I truly it was fun to be a kid again in those activities. Like, you had fun at Disneyland. Same
Yeah,
thing, right?
yeah, yeah, I did, and, but again, I also was my body was hurting from all the walking. I forget how many miles I walked. It was a lot.
I bet.
Yeah, but the
New pair of
trampoline
shoes?
parks yeah, well, I wore running shoes or well, I don't know, I had running shoes. I don't have what are walking shoes, but, but, no, but every time I think about, trampoline parks, I all I can think about is how many people's ACLs is given out at trampoline parks.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Can't do
Yeah.
that. I don't wanna be
Or how
that
many
person.
people, I don't know, like, land on your head or I don't
Yep.
know. Somehow we got rug burns.
Yep, that happens all the time.
See, I forgot all those things with the trampoline, like, I don't know, you used to jump on a trampoline and do these tricks, like, what do they call, like, this where you bounce on your bottom, and it's
Mhm.
like a butt bounce or whatever. I knew how to do it, but I haven't done it in years, and it was
Well,
just
you
kind
did
of
more
those.
exciting things than I did. I don't know what they're talking about. Uh
Well, let's get into today's topic, Jose. So, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to be talking about another another trend that I've seen with our clients and with new people that have been coming in. Um, and I feel like I haven't talked about it so much, but it's something that always comes up in conversation with a new retiree and
Mhm.
even with people that have been retired for a couple of years. But essentially, how do we get retirees to spend their retirement money guilt free? Most
Mm.
people that come in, they wanna retire. They know they wanna stop working, but they don't like the idea of spending their money. And, so majority of my own financial reviews with the majority of my clients, I'm like, "Go spend your money."
Mhm.
And, trying to convince them is really a hard thing to do. And even with
Mhm.
my own parents, I'm telling my parents to go enjoy life, make memories, to go spend their money. My dad, with his inheritance, I don't want your inheritance. I want you to go spend it. And his
Mhm.
way of spending it is he does vacations for the whole family. He doesn't buy himself anything.
Yes.
He likes to pay for everybody to just show up to
Mhm.
this vacation. And
Mhm.
so things like that, it's creating memories. And the thing about that I try to share, a personal experience that I try to share with all of our clients is that life is, I feel like life is very precious
Mhm.
and it could slip from our hands at any moment. Doesn't matter what age you are.
Mhm.
And I think I've said it in this podcast before, but this has been the year of a lot of our clients passing away this year.
Mhm.
And I've just seen it. It's just seen it all the time. I actually happened this morning. We got a
Mhm.
call. And those are the personal experiences that I see that I try to use um, to explain to people, hey, go spend your money, go live your life. You've worked your whole life to build this nest egg, and then you don't spend it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Well, and that's a really good point. I think I just wanna highlight what you're saying, Jose, and it's the difference between really you've spent all of your working years saving, right? It's
Mhm,
always this percentage goes towards my retirement savings, and it's always retirement. You're saving everything that you have and you're focusing on that and it's automated and everything. And then the second that you retire, now what? Now you have to spend? I mean,
mhm,
you've spent years coming up with this routine of saving, so the shift is, really hard to get into that
mhm.
mindset.
Mhm. Yeah, and I've noticed that it's almost like I have to retrain them.
Mm.
For people that are closer to our age, I have to train them from a financial planning perspective. I have to train them to save on a regular basis, do their budget so they can save on a regular basis, right? And then now I have to do the quite opposite, the total opposite when people are going into retirement,
Yeah.
right? And so this is from a practical standpoint, this is what I found that also helps. I mean, obviously, there's the emotion. Me. I'm all about numbers and all of those.
Yes.
Data
Yes.
guy and more practical. But there's and I've but I've touched on the emotional side of things first. The the idea of changing your mindset into spending mindset instead of saving mindset,
Yeah.
right? So the first thing that I've noticed, well, it's really the one main thing that is very complex thing that
Okay.
I think helps people get motivated to spend their money for fun, right?
Okay.
And to get rid of this anxiety, and it has to do with planning correctly. Uh, I
Ah.
found that, and I found that most people that just come with a standard, financial plan,
Mhm.
it doesn't really. I mean, they make you think that it
Mhm.
covers it. You've got it covered, right? That you're good.
Mhm.
You're gonna be okay. But people's main fear is, am I gonna run out of money,
Yes.
right?
That's
And
the number one fear that we
yeah,
hear, right?
yeah. But what people are missing from that question is, I don't know what I don't, they don't know what they don't know, and they don't
Mhm.
know all the risks that are going to be coming after them, right?
Mhm.
And I think I wrote down a quote, and Mike Tyson said it, but I don't think he's the one that created this quote.
Okay.
But the punch that knocks you out is the one that you don't see coming. Okay. And I'm trying to use that on from a financial planning perspective. The risk that you didn't even think of is the one that
Mhm.
brought you to bankruptcy or brought you
Yeah.
to run out of money.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the right planning process, I think, is what it should help you, because one of the things that we do on the beginning stages of interaction with our clients is we show them all the risks that exist out
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
right? And the
Which is
nuances of
scary.
yeah, but you have to be aware of them. You have to know,
Mhm.
first. Now that you know who your enemy is, right? All these risks, you know how to deal with it. And
Mhm.
and and but even though not every single risk affects every person,
Mhm.
they need to know that it exists. They need to know the playing field, right? And so dealing with that really helps out with the anxiety of running out of money. Um, so from the going back to the main fear and how
Mhm.
all these risks that we'll go over affects that one question: am I going to run out of money? And well, how are you going to run out of money? You could run out of money by spending too much.
Mhm.
You didn't do income planning correctly.
Mhm.
There's changes in tax law,
Mhm.
right? You didn't do tax planning correctly. Uh, you happen to go into a nursing home. You need to do
Health,
long-term
yeah.
care planning.
Mhm.
Any things with healthcare,
Mhm.
right? So all those things, uh, I feel like happen to have to come up in conversation
Yeah.
to deal with that anxiety. And I feel like a lot of people deep inside know, or at least have some feeling. Going back to the what people are used to when it comes to financial planning. Oh, that you go to advisor at XYZ bank. I don't want to say specific ones.
Mhm.
Like my previous employer, right? That you go to XYZ bank and they tell you, oh, put your money in 60/40 portfolio
Mhm.
and that should cover it. You're good.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know? And I feel
Yeah.
like it's just too simplistic, too one dimensional. And I feel like people, even though people are okay with it, those big banks still have clients.
Mhm.
Uh, I feel like deep inside they know that this isn't it. And
Yeah.
that's why they're anxious.
Mhm.
This can't be that simple. There's just
Yeah.
more to it.
Well, and I do wanna go back for a quick second, Jose, because, you know, I think the mindset shift and why planning is so important is because we're constantly thinking about the future, right?
Mhm,
I mean, when you're saving, what are you thinking about? Retirement. You're thinking about in the future, in
mhm,
10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever. And then when you're in retirement, you're also worried about your future. What if my health goes down? What if an emergency happens? What if my family needs me? What if? And those
mhm,
are always the questions.
mhm,
And so it's really a shift between living now and
Mhm.
knowing that you have a plan to protect that future.
Mhm.
Because you can always worry about the future. I mean, we don't have
Mhm.
crystal balls. We don't
Mhm.
know when things are gonna happen or if they're going to happen, but having that plan in place really just opens the door to being present rather
Mhm.
than constantly worrying about the future.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was gonna say also is that, the your job, well, at least for my clients, the way I see it is you give me that role of worrying about
Mhm,
the future.
mhm.
I want because of that, I want you to live in the now. Worry
Yes.
about today because we
Mhm.
don't know what tomorrow is gonna be like. And my
Yeah.
job is to protect you from any curveball life throws at you from,
Mhm,
that are gonna make you run out of money,
mhm,
right? And the thing about, uh, the curveballs that life could bring at you,
mhm.
I have a lot of experience because I talk
Yes.
to retirees on a daily basis,
Mhm.
more than anybody that doesn't do this for a living,
You've
right?
experienced these
I've
things before.
experienced it,
Yeah.
and so, it's all those things that, wow, I didn't know that was even at risk. I didn't
Mhm,
know that was something I have to worry about. So it's leaning on our experience, of dealing with with financial planning for retirees.
mhm,
We've seen so much, and we're still learning on an everyday, there's you never know everything, and that's kinda
mhm,
what keeps me going as far as mentally stimulating,
mhm,
for this job, but it's, there's constant change in the regulation and, constant change in the landscape for retirees,
mhm,
and people just don't know what they don't know,
mhm,
and they need to be protected from all these risks that they weren't aware of.
mhm.
And, I
Yeah.
mean, I think that I feel like they kinda know that there has to be more to this story than, like I said, the 60/40 portfolio, and then that's gonna cover it, right?
Mhm.
There's more to it than just that.
Yeah.
And that's something we always preach about of, making sure that you have a full team that,
Mhm,
of, CPAs, CFPs, CFAs, uh, uh, attorneys,
mhm.
professionals that are all working on one front, a united
Yeah.
front, um, that all have seen the mistakes that other retirees have seen. And then and that's one of the things, and I've actually have had someone that kind of acknowledges, like, "Wow, you do talk to a lot of retirees. What is the mistakes that, that you see on my
Yeah.
plan?" So it's one of those things, right, that I think it's very important to, humble yourself a little bit and know
Mhm,
that, there's things that you don't know.
mhm. Yeah, and this is where I come in, Jose, as much as you might roll your eyes at me.
Mhm,
I do wanna touch more on the emotional side,
mhm,
because some words come to mind just listening to you talk right now is really cushion and comfort. And I
mhm,
think, the biggest thing with retirement or financial, money, dollar figures, whatever we're talking about, it's the fear. It's the fear of
mhm,
the unknown. It's the fear
mhm,
of running out of money. It's
mhm,
constantly we're talking about fear.
mhm.
So, I mean, how do we prevent that? What do we do to really eliminate that? Because that's going to drive
Yeah.
us crazy.
Yeah, and you bring up the fear of the unknown,
Mhm.
and I think that's the main purpose of doing these podcasts like today.
Mhm.
Um, we try to our philosophy is to educate as much as we
Mhm.
can, because it suppresses that fear because the more you know, the more you're aware of what you're supposed to do, right?
Mhm.
So that's why our way of communicating with their clients and our approach to financial planning and communication with our clients is very educational driven,
Mm.
um, because not only are they less anxious because they know more, we empower them,
Mhm.
right? But also they have the tools to make an educated decision when it comes to their
Mm.
financial future, right? So it's a win-win for everybody,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
we are
You're
very, very strong on education. Everybody is, um, at the core of our company. for sure.
Mhm. Well, and then that just leads me to kind of the key word here, which is comfort, right? I mean, we're talking
Mhm.
about kind of fear, comfort,
Mhm.
and the comfort of knowing a plan is set in place for you. The unknowns, the what ifs, all of that is taken care of, and you'll figure it out. There will be something in place of. So, right now, live in the present. Be able to spend guilt free, right?
Mhm.
And be able to live life because if you have a health concern, if you have something that happens in the future, you're going to have, you know, assets set aside for that. You're going to have
Mhm.
a plan in place and preparation for it so you
Mhm.
can live now and honestly take your family on vacations like Jose's dad does and,
Yeah.
live like life is just too short. And I think that's
Yeah.
the moral of the story. Have fun. You worked
Yeah.
so hard for this money
Yeah.
for 40 plus years.
Yep, yep, and, I it's so frustrating, I wanna just grab some people by the shoulders, "Go spend your money, please."
Yes.
And, something I've heard, from some of our clients is like, "Wow, you're our first financial advisor that has ever told us to go spend our money."
Because you did a good job. Like, I wanna point out, these people, if you are told by Jose, Brad, your financial advisor, whoever it may be, to go spend money, it's because you deserve it.
Yeah,
Because you did such a good job in your career, in your past, whatever it may be, to get to where you're at, to be
mhm,
able to spend money. So,
yeah,
I mean, you deserve it. You deserve
mhm.
every bit of that.
Yeah, exactly, and then another reason why I was well, I wasn't shocked and I wasn't shocked that somebody told me that before.
Mhm.
Uh, and I started to think about is because the reason why some financial advisors tell you not to spend your money is because you're digging into their revenue because they pay, people pay for how
Oh.
much people manage, but we don't, I mean, obviously we have to keep the lights on, but in my heart, I can't, after seeing what I've seen this year and a little
Mhm.
bit of the other years as well, but this has been the main year of people passing away.
Mhm.
I can't, just sit there and tell people not to go spend their money and not create memories.
Yeah.
It's changed the way that I've advised people
Mhm.
because, if once you experience, and maybe the people in the medical field can maybe relate, or
Mhm.
in the paramedics can relate a little bit, but when you've experienced multiple times and multiple deaths in 1 year,
Mhm.
where just a couple of days ago you saw this person, they were fine,
Mhm.
and then the week later you get a call from the spouse that something happened.
Mhm.
You can't just, that you can't, I can't, with my conscience, I can't not give that advice as go and join your life and spending your money.
Mhm.
It's just maybe on that aspect, I'm very emotional side.
Yeah.
I'm a very emotional person, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
There is an emotional Jose behind all this, just so you guys
Well,
know.
I love to see it. Honestly, we should do more episodes like this because I love to see that side of you. And I truthfully, I mean, we could go on and on about this and just the
Mhm,
emotional aspect to it because this is one of the more emotional conversations that
mhm,
we have really and that we will have on
mhm.
the podcast. So we'll kind of start to wrap up here just for our listeners. And Jose, do you mind kind of highlighting maybe for our listeners kind of the key points here?
Yeah, I think the biggest point is, um the plan, just having
Mhm,
the plan, so all of the fears you have are taken care of,
mhm,
and if anything, no stone has been left unturned because you've
mhm,
worked with a financial advisor that is getting paid to look for the future, and your main job is to be present in the present, right? And be with your family, do your hobbies, spend your money. That's
mhm.
what I would say. That's the biggest thing for me.
Honestly, I love that we can end this on a high note. So I say we should end it there. Jose, why don't you share with our listeners before we leave how they can reach out to you and Brad to, have a complimentary consultation to talk about their plan and get their peace of mind and
Mhm.
answer maybe some of those what ifs that you have.
Mhm. Yeah, they can go to the show's, website, Financial Armor Show, .com, and, or they can give us a call at 888-390-5277.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you, Jose. It was great to see you. And listeners, that does it for this episode of Financial Armor with our host, Jose Rodriguez.